Hey drummers, I would like to take a couple minutes to talk about my one of my books, The Hi-Hat Master. So yeah, what's the most important thing for a drummer to work on, right? It's the groove, like the drum beat, the groove. That should always be top priority. So this book here, Hi-Hat Master, is all about grooving. It essentially enables you, after studying for a while, to kind of separate everything you do on the hi-hat from what you do with the bass drum and the snare drum, your main elements in a groove or a drum beat, right? So it's inspired by drummers I really like, Vinnie Colaiuta, Carter Buford, who's probably my favorite drummer, David Garibaldi. Yeah, drummers like these. I was never really a drummer, like a pure rock drummer, just playing eighth notes or quarter notes on the hi-hat and then trying to groove with the bass drum and snare drum, like combinations, right? I was always interested to get the most out of my hi-hat, because I learned that in most bands I played with, I had to deliver a fairly steady groove or drum beat, right? To get the to get the beat going, holding the how a band works, right? To hold the band together, get people on the dance floor, right? But I learned that I could have a lot of freedom on what I could play on the hi-hats, because what you do on the hi-hat doesn't get in the way as much as if you would, let's say, play a very busy bass drum and snare drum beat, right? So yeah, anyways, this book is not created on a drawing board. It is created behind the drum kit. So I had this like in my mid-20s. I studied grooves a lot. I spent a lot of time, skimming through my drum books. I own maybe a 250 drum books, something like that, and always searching for exercises I could improve my coordination, independence, all these kind of things. And so I learned that I just have to put in the time, and I have to combine all these hi-hat figures I had in my head with as many message as many different grooves as I could possibly practice on to gain the most independence. So I came up with this system, and had this crazy scheme behind my drum kit, where I kept track of all those combinations. It's just too bad. When I moved to Canada, I threw it away. But it was really too bad. I would love to show you guys now. So anyways, what I came out with was, like, after a while I discovered that with all these thousands of combinations I practiced through, that there was a lot of repetition in there. And after a while it kind of clicked in my head, and I kind of figured out a system that kind of compresses these thousands of exercises I went through into a way smaller chunk, like a doable and practicable chunk. And that's basically what this is. So in this book, like starting on page 55, it comes, like, it basically comes with 10 different groove pages. Just bass drum, snare drum grooves. And in the first 2/3 of the book, I introduce a lot of different hi-hat patterns. All the basic hi-hat patterns and some very fancy and sophisticated hi-hat patterns as well. And they are to be combined with those groove pages in the book. You can also keep track. It's basically like a workbook too. You can keep track of your progress. It has like fields you can tick off, just to because it's not something you can work through within a week, right? It's going to take, I think it took me, I think I studied really hard for the course of like 3 years. So it's going to take a while, right? But you're serious about drumming, right? So you're going to enjoy the journey anyways. Yeah, so it also has some chapters in there with linear grooves, which I'm a huge fan of. Hi-hat foot patterns, then the dirty shuffle is explained in the book. Then swinging 16th, like how to swing 16th note grooves. Then special hi-hat reading pages, like the freehand hi-hat chapter, and then a lot more. I think if you're serious about grooving, about gaining some independence with your hi-hat on top of your daily beats you're playing, then you should really consider getting a copy of this book. It's available in German language in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, and also in English language, shipping worldwide through drumgate.com. All right, here's a couple more examples straight out of the book. Enjoy.